Hey, I'm Adam Thompson, and what I want to talk to you about today is that your strategic plan probably needs
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
a strategy. Let's get right into it. Imagine I'm interviewing to be the coach of the sporting team, and I'm asked for what's my strategy going to be, and this is what I peel off. First, our intent. A successful club that wins premierships. How are we going to go about doing that? Well, then I'm asked, well, that's all very well and good, but what's the actual strategy? And I come up with something like this.
A game of footy's like building a house, isn't it? Brick by brick.
Recruitment, fitness, skills, game plan. Before you laugh and think this isn't much of a strategy, I want you to go to your intranet and pull out your strategic plan. And I'm betting what we're going to see is at the top, you're going to have some sort of intent statement, which is going to be pretty good. Most of them are. And then I think you're going to have something, whether you call them pillars or themes or priorities, whatever, it's going to look like that. Now this is normal, but I want to give you a way you can look at it. This comes from the work of Patrick Hoverstad and Lucy Lowe. You need to have a look at it, this book here. It's absolutely brilliant, and it'll give you an angle, which I use in terms of how to see through it. Look at it like this. So you've got intent, and then you've got plans and you've got tactics. This isn't exactly the way Patrick and Lucy do it, but it's the way I understand it. Now, intent is what you think it is, the reason we exist, our purpose, that sort of stuff. Plans are all those business plans that you've been writing out. You know, the ones that you have to start doing around about October and you finalise around about April when the board approves them. Then you get 2 or 3 months to actually do the plan, then you've got to start again. Well, those plans are these. They're the plans that actually lay out the projects, the stuff that we're going to do. And by the way, they're all due on the 30th of June. Have you noticed that? Which means you're going to start all of them around about the 15th of March, which means none of them are going to get done, which is why you never spend your budget, but that's a separate thing. And then you've got tactics, which are the things that you adjust as you go along to make sure you do it. So what's missing right in the middle is strategy. So what we need is a way that we can look at strategy that makes sense. And this is where I think the work of Patrick and Lucy is brilliant, which is why you should have a look at it. We are talking about how we maneuver. I never know how to spell this word, it's an annoying one, but that's the key word. How we maneuver in our environment relative to the other actors in our environment to gain a position of advantage. What do we want the position of advantage for? So we can achieve this thing here, the intent. So we can achieve the successful club that wins premiership, or whatever that nice intent or purpose statement is in your strategic plan at the moment. So what are we talking about when we're talking about maneuvering and actors? Well, first I'll start with the actors.
Your Honor, I object.
You would.
Overactor.
Shut up.
The actors are any other bodies in your environment. So the key actor you're going to have is your market. Your market might be one generic thing, you might divide it up into a few different things, but the point is look at each segment of your market as an actor that you need to be connected to. Patrick and Lucy use the word structural coupling. How are you connected to that market to understand that? Then the other obvious actors are the competitors in your environment, but another one is collaborators. So by understanding the other actors in your environment, which includes your customers, and then by thinking about what they are going to do and how are they going to be maneuvering, we can now put together a strategy to be successful. And all these strategies, all these maneuvers ultimately revolve around changing the connection or the structural coupling with the other actors. A simple metaphor of Patrick and Lucy's makes it make sense. So we are a little sailing boat.
Over the sea, let's go, men.
And we're trying to get somewhere to this coast over here. And let's say that our intent requires us to get to that coast. And what we might be doing is looking for a particular spot where we want to be. So we want to get to here. Now the two things that are going to affect any sort of boat out in the ocean are going to be the direction of the wind, beautiful clouds there, and also what's going to be affecting us are the tides. Draw it in blue. The wind represents the things that are blowing at you, so that's coming from the other actors in the environment. The regulator is another actor as well. They're going to blow your boat in a particular direction, and this is the part I love, whether you like it or not. Your boat is already on the ocean getting blown in a particular direction, and obviously the tides are going to move your boat as well. The tides reflect the wider economic conditions, the big societal trends, the things that are occurring, and of course you can get them all combining together into a storm. COVID, anyone? So if you set the course like this, under the assumption that there's going to be no other actors in the environment, you are very quickly going to get blown off course and you're going to land here. So in order to actually get to where you need to go, the course you need to set, with the winds coming from that way and the tide is coming from that way, needs to be up to there. If we're going to achieve our intent, the first thing we need to do is work out who the other actors are in the environment, work out how they're blowing us around, and then work out the maneuvers that we're going to make. And then at the same time, think about the maneuvers they might make in return. And then through doing that, we work out the maneuvers that we need to make relative to the other actors in order to achieve that position of advantage. Do that, and you've got yourself an actual strategy which will deliver your intent. And as a little bonus point, if you have a clear strategy where everyone can understand what you're trying to do, That's going to create the sort of cohesion you'll be looking for all along. That's all for now. I'll see you next time.